Let's see if that glare goes away. There we go. Um, I will fix that because I can't tolerate that at all. Let's see what we can do. Does that fix it? Sort of. Good thing I got another towel in here. Alright, how about that? It's a little bit better. I might be able to move that other towel to get rid of that glare, but if I sit right, it'll be all right. So, I like to go down through the live stream. Once I see somebody's short form live stream, I usually use their stream because once you're in somebody's stream, you can kind of scroll through all the live streams that are out there, and it's chaos, believe me. But every once in a while, I come across people that are streaming. Some of the ones I like to watch are Christian related, or another group of people that I like to keep up with is, it's not a very big niche, but it's circumstantial because homeless people do have the ability to live stream from their encampment. But I asked this person if somebody had a tiny house community for the homeless, if they would be interested in that. And they kind of on YouTube is advocate for and on property for sale. All the land property for sale. All the land here. When we're on the 10 acres my grandmother owns out back here. When we're on the 10 acres my grandmother owns out back, and that property we're all once one piece of property. There's trails. That property, community ideas. Getting the whole here, go away. Here, go away. So if anybody or likes or anything, let's see is not gonna that the system kind of glitch as it's getting ready to boot me off of stream. It's unfortunate because hello VN, if that's your name. It causes a drop in numbers when YouTube has a glitch or they don't like what I'm talking about. But I'm going to talk about it because I was homeless for 10 years, and during that entire 10-year period, there was no alternative to running the rat race, getting your own place, getting your own vehicle, getting your own job, doing it all by yourself, and it doesn't work. We're a tribal species. So we need to start building, not tribes, but building community and focusing on the people that are having the hardest time in life right now. So, Dana. The last name I don't think I'll be able to pronounce. Caceres. Welcome. Thank you for saying hello. I appreciate everybody hitting the like button. If you want to see more content like this, there's a subscribe button probably down here somewhere, maybe, or up there. I don't know. I don't usually, push for subscribers because it just naturally happens. At one point, I had to start with 50 subscribers to go live, and now I'm up to somewhere between 190 and 200, just by rehashing the same thing over and over again just to get it into the algorithm. You guys have any opinions on how this kind of community would be run? I don't see it being a nonprofit, just for reference. I see it being run as a business. To start with, it would be me as CEO, bringing in other people who have skill sets, specific philosophies, and ideals so that this community can thrive. No, we don't. I'm sorry, we don't play that game here. I live in the real world where things like that comment don't need to be around. I'm more focused on, people can call me serious, but I consider it stoicism, having a real hard outlook on life, and some of the solutions that we could bring forth to society to help society thrive. Right now, it's not thriving very well, is it? It's pretty bad when there's homeless people that are able to live stream when, those are the people that we should be helping. If you're not a God-fearing, Bible-believing Jesus follower, hello, Lou Carrios, Harma. Thank you for joining. Yeah, we just need to treat people better. We can't just kick the can down the road or sweep things under the rug. We need to deal with them now before they get even worse. Because when I was homeless, it was a totally different culture than, people are dealing with the culture now. We're seeing drops in numbers at the food pantries, the soup kitchens. There's not as many people utilizing that. They're more interested in doing what they do. Let's see. Can we at least get some... Well, you don't need to swear. It's not necessarily getting healthcare. It's getting access to healthcare. There's, bunches of hospitals around. Just some people don't live close enough to get to the hospital. The doctors and nurses in this country take a vow as a healthcare provider that they will provide healthcare regardless if you can pay for it or not. I mean, it's not like you can go to a doctor every 6 months. That's something that's not covered by healthcare unless you can't afford it. It's supposed to be free, right? I don't pay for healthcare. I don't even have healthcare. I might have like state-funded stuff, but I don't use it. Just go to the ER. They have to serve you. But that's not what we're really talking about. I mean, I will talk about it, but we're talking about buying a property that's next door to us here that's not abandoned. It's bank owned. It wouldn't take very much work to get it set up so that there's parking over there, there's buildings over there. I mean, I can go find free pallets. We can build stuff out of pallets. It's not that difficult. As the title of the live stream says, we're going to be live until the mail shows up. So, has anybody uh, lived in a tiny house, or are you living in a tiny house? Because my wife and I, we lived in very small tiny houses. First one was 8 by 10. The one we're in now is 10 by 12. And, with a little bit of an improvement of electricity, heat, those kind of things, we would be more than content to live in a tiny house for the foreseeable future. And I don't think it would be that big of a push to the people that are willing, the homeless people that are willing to come out and live in a tiny house and work the land, start producing all kinds of food, livestock, eggs. There goes that red truck that's living down the road and the driving camper. So, if anybody doesn't know, I have been doing a hustle on the side. It's not really a hustle. It's just me making more plants than what I have. Like the autumn joy sedum, I just potted up probably 45 to 50 autumn joy sedum. Even though somebody on Reddit said that, the sharp edges to the leaf make it look more like a calico. I know what a calico is. That's not a calico. But I've got 45 to 50 of those potted up. Uh, Maybe more if I count the ones from last year. Um, I've got hostas. When I potted up the new batch of cuttings from the sedum, I also potted up blue hosta. I know it's a little late, but it should at least leaf out. I don't know if it's going to flower, but it'll get some energy into the roots. But eventually I'm going to have enough plants so that I can start, offsetting the need to drive 45 minutes to town to work. Um, I'd like to sell wholesale, but that may not always be the case. So I've thought about like a middle ground. If somebody buys 20 or more, or 10 or more plants, they get a deal, like $1 off or $5 off. I don't know, like $1 a plant, because I'll sell them for, right now, the ones from last year, I'd probably sell those for like $5 a piece. They're only 3 to 6 inches tall. We've got, say, half a dozen or so. Doesn't pay for ongoing or specialized treatment. All I'm even hoping to possibly get any more for this country. Well, that's different. Before any kind of nationalized health care, um, people died. I mean, it's natural selection. We now live in a time where we're fighting against natural selection. Might sound harsh, but there's going to it's going to get to a point where I'm not going to be able to fully process food because I don't have any teeth. Like, have since I started Bible verses that say when they got for help, you're supposed to help them. And it's like, no, we're not going to do it that way. So I don't have any part to do with any church that isn't willing to do the bare minimum. Scout, just like college, where they come in scout for 16 to 24-year-olds. Knife and need some help. 16 to 24-year-olds. Knife and need some help. Those are the people I want to help. I'm going to take a short intermission because I need to use the bathroom. If we're making monthly good income, the shared expenses we're all looking for, expenses we're all looking for, power facilities, facilities, we're sharing some income, investing, so when we become a retirement age, we actually have a retirement to look forward to. That will lead to generational wealth. Reason like spiritual collusion, brush soda. It's faith-based. I could go on and on and on about living out, in rural Maine. We're gonna be live until that. We're gonna be live until that. No holiday, so. It might glitch out again because I'm not. It might glitch out again because I'm not seeing. Honestly, I'd rather that way because then I can just practice talking to nobody, because give me the idea of kind of how the intentional community should be set up. Basics, what plants grow better in this growing zone. It used to be zone 4A, but in zone 5A, environment, shade or sun. Building up culture. Doesn't like that, does it? Oh, I get to see the views again. Nobody's watching. Retro. Yeah. My big head again. I want to see the effect. There we go. Oh, that's great. It's not doing it very well, though. What's wrong with you? You're not liking the fact that, like, that should be instant. I don't like it. Let's do Lembus. Horror TV. X-ray. Give her the big head effect, bro. Whoa. Radioactive horror TV. It's gonna be black night. Sorry, I'm just messing with some of the X, and none of them seem to. There you go. Listen, horsefly. looks like it's getting slowed down for some reason. Wicked bad. Can you do something? Really? What if I do that? There we go. I was just messing with some of the filters and lenses in the options there, because just waiting for the mail to show up. So I'd really like to hear other people's opinions on how we could go forward with an intentional tiny house community for the homeless. It's more or less for everybody, but it's specifically for the homeless, the ones that are willing to get off the streets, start doing something productive. Oh, honeybee, come on, buddy. I don't want to kill you. Yeah, come on. Poor guy, look at him. He's struggling. You want to be on live, do you? Little bumblebee. There you go. He's out. I wonder if I can do a sticker. Still can't do a sticker, huh? Oh, I'm sure people come through and they don't comment, they leave. Okay. Thanks, YouTube, for putting me in a album. So we're back to talking about the property next door. The reason I'd really like to get it, not just because of the people that seem to think it's okay to trespass on the. I mean, they thing is that they don't realize that that they're trespassing, but anybody that goes to look at the property, one of the things they should be doing before they go to look at the property, the town that I live in has on their website the property map listing for every property in the town. So that they should be going to get that property map before they even go to look at the property. Even the realtor signs when I talk to them, because it's been a different realtor every time, is that the property doesn't go along the road, it goes back into the woods. And they're more or less trying to sell 27 acres, only maybe a third of it is accessible from this side of the creek. The house is no good, the outbuildings are no good. They're trying to sell, let's call it 9 acres for $65,000. I've talked to several people locally about, how would they build a bridge without needing permits, and the only thing that I've come up with is what I call a tree bridge, and that would just be something to get, small equipment down there. Eventually, I could probably build so a tree bridge doesn't prevent the flow of water unless it's like super high in the springtime when the snow melts. Um, but most of the year it would be accessible. And I've got a pretty good spot down there that I'd like to cross at. We may, there's a lot of trees that I've cut down in Pine Grove section. And I've noticed that once they're down and limbed, they are, with two people, it would make it more easily managed to build that tree bridge. That's why I'm trying to get some, friends of Cheryl and I to come out and have a weekend of it, cutting down trees, building the bridge, inspecting the property that's back there. My grandmother's, there's 6 or 7 acres on that back side. To either make lumber instead of just clearing the forest. Well, at least I got my viewer count back, even though it's 0. 5 likes though. Really like that. we can't keep people healthy, what's the point in having a home? Because I think we do better at home. It's our safe zone